Hello, everybody. Now this is a continuation video to the concept of company meetings, and I have already covered meaning of meetings. I've already covered why do we have meetings. I have also talked about kinds of meeting, pre requirements for valid meeting, proxies also have discussed, an annual general meeting I've discussed, legal provisions to hold annual general meeting I've discussed, cases related to AGM I've discussed. Now I have to discuss statutory report, extraordinary general meeting, general provisions to extraordinary general meeting, power of tribunal to call for EGM, cases related to EGM, class meetings. Now till contents till 15th point I will cover in this video. Next board meetings I will cover in the next upcoming videos. Now, if I talk about the concept of extraordinary general meeting, a quick revision to what we have already covered in members meeting, that is annual general meetings, which is given in our 96 annual general meeting is a meeting wherein all the shareholders will club in together and they will conduct a meeting. So the responsibility of conducting an annual general meeting is in the hands of the board of directors only, and uh, at least they have to conduct one meeting and one annual general meeting once a year. It is a mandatory requirement of every company to come up with one annual general meeting every year. It's a statutory requirement. And here, according to General Clauses Act 1897, year means the calendar year, that is starting from 1st January to 31st December. I've already discussed objectives, what all discussions are held during AGM, that they will first discuss the function of the company, how shareholders will assemble at one place to be a part of annual general meeting. They will discuss accounts, balance sheet, and reports of board of directors and auditors, because all of these are uh, extraordinary. They have an extraordinary importance in the company affairs. They will discuss the final dividend, which has to be circulated to each shareholder. They will also discuss the appointment of directors, because all these points are related to shareholders also. And shareholders, as they have invested money in the company, they are aware. They should be aware of each and every functioning of the government of the company. Sorry. So there's a proper time period of conducting an AGM. Time, place, date is also mentioned under provision 96. And exceptions are also given. And after meeting is conducted, a report is to be made, which has to be given within 30 days of the conclusion of AGM. The default is also given under section 97 and 99. And important cases also I have discussed. Now here in this video, I am talking about statutory meeting as given under section 165 of Companies Act 1956. Now here I will discuss both 1956 and 2013 Act. Every public company limited by shares or limited by guarantee and having share capital must hold a general meeting of its members to be called statutory meeting. In the first meeting of the members of the company after incorporation, uh, the time name of the folding of the first meeting is so only the first meeting is the statutory meeting. The next meeting can be annual general meeting and all that. It must be held within a month of not less than 1 month, and before expiry of 6 months, the company is entitled to commence business. Objectives of holding this meeting: to give information to the members regarding issues related to promotion and formation of a company, to make clear doubts, confusion, if any, in the minds of the members, to discuss issues regarding success and flotation of company, to take consent of the members regarding modification in the terms of contract specified in the contract. And company is exempted from holding a statutory meeting. Every company um, is free to hold its first meeting, but certain companies are not required to hold their first meeting subject to section 165. Uh, 165. So private company, unlimited company, company guaranteed by shares have to be given clearly. Now, Now, if I talk about uh, statutory meeting, now as you can see in the screen, these are the companies which are exempted from holding a statutory meeting. The company meetings, the company the statutory meeting, the document containing all the information required by the shareholders before the statutory meeting is also known as statutory report. They must comply to the following guidelines of company law, at least sent to the members at least 21 days before the day of statutory meeting. If less than 21, then consent of all members is required. Certification, it shall be certified as correct. Two directors, including MD, auditor of the company, as given under section 165. My contents, what are the contents of the report? The following are the contents of the report. First is shares, the number of shares allotted, and consideration of uh, shares issued, cash received. Now, cash received. Cash received by the company in respect of shares allotted, receipt from shares, ventures and other sources, and payments made, payments account, mm, payments account, balance remaining in hand, balance remaining in hand, an account or estimate of preliminary expenses of the company, director and auditor's name, address, occupation of the directors, merger of secretary and auditors, contracts, particulars of any contract, and arrear due to calls from every director, manager, and commission in case of any share or debentures default as given under section 165 and section 433B. Um, now, um Now again, the third type of meeting under members meeting is the extraordinary general meeting as given under section 68 to 98 to 100. Sometimes matters requiring immediate consideration by members may crop up whose consideration cannot be deferred till the next AGM. To meet such emergencies, the companies can provide for holding an emergency meetings of the members, which are also known as extraordinary general meetings. Regulation 42 of Table F provides that all general meeting other than AGM shall be called as EGM, and all business shall be transacted at the EGM shall be deemed special. Who may call EGM? EGM may be convened by any of the following: by the Board of Directors on its motion or on demand of requisitionist, any director, any two members, any by the requisitionist themselves, and NCLT. Calling of EGM under Section 100. Section 100, subsection 1 of the Companies Act empowers the board to call an extraordinary general meeting of the company at any time when it deems fit. If in case the board fails to call an EGM, it may be called by the requisitionist in manner as prescribed under subsections of Section 100. Legal provisions regarding calling of EGM. Eligible members under section 100 subsection 2, in case of company having share capital, the requisition shall be made by the shareholders holding not less than 1/10 of such of paid up share capital of the company are entitled to vote on that occasion at the said EGM. B. In case of company having no share capital, the requisition shall be made by the such number of members who have at least 10% of the total voting power and are entitled to vote on the occasion of the said EGM. What are the essentials of valid requisition? Section 100, subsection 3. The requisition shall specify the matters for the consideration of which EGMs to be called. The requisition shall be signed by all the requisitionists. In case of joint shareholders, it is to be signed by any one of them shall be deemed to be valid. The requisition shall be deposited at the registered office. EGM called by the board, section 100, subsection 4. On the receipt of a valid requisition, the board shall within 21 days proceed to call EGM to be held not later than 45 days from the date of deposit of requisition. EGM called by requisitionist. If the board fails to call an EGM, it may be called by the requisitionists themselves as follows: time period of holding EGM, section 100, subsection 4. It shall be held within 3 months from the deposit of requisition. Manner of calling EGM, which is given under subsection 5. The requisitionist shall call the EGM in the same manner in which the meeting is called by the board of directors. Reimbursement of expenses under subsection 6. All the reasonable expenses incurred by the requisitionist to call EGM shall be repaid back to them. The sum so repaid shall be deducted from the remuneration of the defaulting directors. Power of tribunal to call EGM under Section 98. Section 98 of Companies Act provides that uh, when for any aim it is impracticable to call, hold, conduct meeting of a company according to the provisions of law or the article of a company, NCLT may order a meeting of a company to be held or conducted in such manner as it thinks deems fit. Here the word practicable means impracticable from the reasonable point of view. Holding a meeting is supposed to be impracticable in the following circumstances: when there is a dispute between various shareholders that who are lawful directors of the company to call for meetings, that the registered office or any other place uh, fixed for a meeting shall be locked, where the company does not have its duly appointed board of directors, where there's a chance of quarrel and violence at the meeting. In this particular case, it is impracticable to call for an AGM. It shall also give such ancillary direction as it thinks fit. The directions given under this section may also include a direction that one member of the company present in person or by proxy shall be deemed to constitute a meeting. The Company Law Board Tribunal can issue such orders either on its own motion, on the request of the director, any director of the company, on request of any member of the company. If there's a default in holding an EGM, then you will retract section 99 and the failure which makes it is a punishable offense, which the fine may extend to 1 lakh of the company on every officer of the company, and 5,000 per day may extend on every default. An important case of EGM is AD Chaudhary versus Mysore Paper Mills Limited. It was held that BOD, Board of Director, is right in refusing to call and hold an EGM on the requisition of members where there is an order of injunction restraining the company from holding any meeting if such spot. LIC versus Ascot in the year 1986, it was held that every shareholder has a right to requisition an AGM, so he cannot be restrained from requisitioning an EGM, and he is not bound to disclose the reasons for the removal where the meeting get held for the purpose of removing bunch of directors. And Metal Box India Limited are in the year 2001, it was held that it is not necessary to held the company at the registered office, so resolution passed at such meeting would be equally valid as it is held at the registered office. And the last kind of member meeting is class meeting. Class meeting, besides general meetings, the articles of companies may provide certain provisions affecting the certain matters affecting the interest of the holders of particular class of shares shall be subject to the consideration and decision of a meeting of those holders only. Such meetings are known as class meetings. In other words, class meetings are those meetings which are held by the shareholders of a particular class, such as preference shares. Class meetings are usually required to be held when it is supposed to alter, vary, or affect the rights of a particular class of shares. So, for effecting such changes, it is necessary becomes necessary to call separate class meeting of the holders of such shares and seek their approval. For example, Section 48 of the 2013 Act, where a company desires to cancel the arrears of dividends on cumulative preference shares, it is necessary to call a meeting of such shareholders and pass a resolution. These were the four kinds of member meetings, starting from AGM, EGM, class meeting, and subsidy meeting. These are four kinds of member meetings. Member meetings are the meetings where shareholders are the party to it. But who has the responsibility of conducting the meeting? Board of directors have the responsibility. So responsibility, they become the host of a meeting, but it is a meeting wherein all the shareholders are a party to it. In the next video, I will talk about board meetings. Board meetings, no outside or no shareholders will be a part of it. Only the board of directors will be the part of this particular meeting. Okay, thank you. I will continue the same in the next lecture.